All right, we're getting ready to go see Haunted Mansion. My prediction is that we're going to get a lot of the lightning strobe light effects, which may make this movie kind of dangerous. The 2003 version had that throughout pretty much the entire movie. So let's see what the 2023 version does. I'm seated in the theater about to watch Haunted Mansion, and I'll be right back to let you know, is this movie safe? The answer is... no, this movie is not safe for photosensitive audiences. Sorry to bring that news to you. And it's all because of lightning-related strobe effects. There's lightning in some of the opening scenes of the movie, and then there is heavy, magical purple lightning throughout the entire climax of the movie. That actually starts off in the background, but gets worse as the setting is moved outdoors. For flashing lights, we've given Haunted Mansion an 8 out of 10, which is a strong caution. Everything between the beginning and end parts of the movie that have these effects is pretty safe. But important stuff does happen while the strobe effects are happening, so if you're covering your eyes, there will be important things that you miss. As for motion, the biggest motion risk is that it messes with the viewer's sense of up and down a couple of times, mainly in a sequence that takes place in what looks like an M.C. Escher painting, specifically this one. Or like this room from the Haunted Mansion in Florida and Tokyo. Also, there is one single shot in the entire movie that uses a shaking camera. Now, is the movie any good or not? Yeah, I think it was pretty good. It was better than the Eddie Murphy version. The problem with the Eddie Murphy version is that it put all of its eggs in Eddie Murphy being the comedic genius that he was back in the 80s, rather than the stale style of comedy he adopted in the late 90s and the 2000s. This movie had a really great cast of comedic characters and did a really good job balancing the comedy aspects and the horror aspects. And also, I just have to give some credit to LaKeith Stanfield, the lead actor in this movie. He makes acting look like it's easy, but every performance he gives, especially this one where he carries the movie, he gives it really nuanced, and that's just something you got to appreciate about newer up-and-coming actors. One of the things that is detrimental with this comedic cast and how stacked it is it does feel a little bit crowded when they try to balance each of the characters. And if I were to remove one of the characters, it would probably have to be one of them who's the most important. I'm going to give Haunted Mansion a B-. And that's just because of a spoiler-related issue where there was some real unmet potential. On the blog side of things at Movie Health Community, specifically on the Patreon side of things, we will be releasing our flashing lights warning track for Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, this Monday, July 31st. That is an exclusive perk to the $5 tier of our Patreon page. Let's take a minute to thank all of our patrons on our Patreon page, whose names are scrolling like credits on the screen right now. And finally, let's get to that spoiler. There is an invisible character in this movie. We're meant to understand that he's a sailor. He wants nothing more than to be taken back to the sea. At the end of this movie, they could have and should have revealed that this character was somebody from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That could have opened the door for a whole franchise that we know Disney wants to make of connected Disney parks attractions as movies. Thank you for tuning in to this review of Haunted Mansion. For our $5 patrons, look for that flashing lights warning track this Monday. To everyone watching, stay safe at the movies.